Congratulations on receiving the happy news of being pregnant. This is such an exciting time and I'm really happy for you. But then the big question comes in, what to do next? So what I did, I immediately called KKH to book an appointment. I spoke to this really nice teleconsultant who shared with me that there are two tracks that I can take. I can be a private or subsidized patient. I was really confused because I thought that a public hospital should only have a subsidized track, and I didn't really understand what this private patient track was. So let me explain it to you guys. So firstly, you can actually do a Google search like this, and you can click on the first search result, which will show the charges, the outpatient charges. So at the charges table, there are two types of charges. One part is for private and the other is subsidized. So if you look at private, within private, the charges are broken down into two categories. One is for first visit, which is more expensive, and the other is for subsequent visits. The price range for private patients varies depending on the appointment of your gynae. So for an associate consultant, the price range is at the lower end, and for a senior consultant, the price is at the higher end. But for subsidized patients, the charges are actually the same for both first and subsequent visits, and the price range is actually dependent on the subsidy eligibility instead. So for myself, I paid about $60-ish for my consultation when I was on the subsidized track. I've actually done a detailed video on the cost breakdown, which I will link at the top of this video. I also started off as a subsidized patient, and then somewhere in my third trimester, towards the end of second trimester, I switched to be a private patient. So you can actually take a look at my video to see the cost for both type of being a subsidized and a private patient. So if you scroll down a bit, you can see on the notes part that these fees exclude other hospital charges like lab investigations, ultrasounds, vaccines, medications, etc. And next point to take note is, to be a subsidized patient, you actually need a referral from a polyclinic. For a private patient, you can actually book the appointment through a phone call. And the last part to take note of is, a subsidized patient will receive team-based care by an assigned specialist, but a private patient will get the team-based care led by their choice of specialists. So now let's talk about what to expect at your first appointment. So for your first appointment, you will need to register at the counter, but for your subsequent appointments, you can just register at the kiosk. I really like KKH because when I register at the kiosk, I will get this appointment slip, which looks like an itinerary for the day, and it specifies where you need to go and for what purpose, and I really like that. So if you can see, the third itinerary item is where the doctor's appointment is, which has a time stamp. You have to actually aim to reach the hospital at least 30 to 45 minutes in advance, because you have two other service stations to go to prior to seeing your gynae. So the first item in the itinerary, you will need to do a blood pressure test, then you will do your weight and BMI check, and also a urine test at your first service station. This is actually a very quick one, and once you do that, you will proceed to do your ultrasound, and you will get a cute sonogram. But I want to break a bubble over here, because if you're early in your pregnancy, the sonogram image will only show a tiny little dot, which is actually a baby, because I was expecting to see a baby figure, and I only found out that my baby is only 2 mm long, and he just looked like a very small star in the womb. So after the scan, you will proceed to the waiting area outside the clinic that is stated in your appointment slip. So for myself, it's clinic C, so I just had to wait at the waiting area outside clinic C, outside the particular room, and I wait for my queue number to be called to see the gynae. And this routine is actually the same for both subsidized and private patients. So when you see your gynae, what I would advise or recommend is to actually take this opportunity to clear all your doubts that you have. I would totally understand, as a new mom, your mind will be flooded with so many questions to ask. So what I did was, since the day I found out I was pregnant until my first appointment date, every single time I had a doubt or a query, I was just jotting it down in my phone notes. And when I went and saw my gynae, I clarified everything that I had in my mind rather than just googling or reading it offline. So that made me feel a lot better, and the gynae actually reassured me of doubts that I had. And once done seeing the doctor, you will proceed to collect your medicine. For your first appointment, you will likely collect some medicines, but for your subsequent appointments, it really depends on whether you still have enough. Because remember my gynae asking me whether I do have enough tablets and if I need a top up. So lastly, for the payment part, I know it in the slip it has written as proceed to the clinic C's counter A to H or payment kiosk, but you don't necessarily have to do that. That's an option. You can pay at the counter, pay at the payment kiosk, or you can also make your payment online. So thank you for watching. I hope this video has helped you to understand what to expect at your first prenatal appointment, and I wish you a healthy and happy pregnancy journey. Thank you. See you. Bye bye.